Well, listen, there's a lack of leadership. There's no question. But he did play in a Super Bowl. I mean, the thing with Dak, and maybe it's his fault, maybe it's not, is that Hurts has won way more big games than Dak has.
Well, Hurts is now 2-3 in the playoffs.
Right, but he's at least played the Super Bowl.
He won 2 games last year to get to the Super Bowl, and they lost by 3 points.
But the way that this year played out was such a bad reflection on all of them. And then last night, I hate to say it, I mean, he went out gutless last night. He didn't show anything.
He doesn't show emotion,
guys,
too.
Not only that, let's just call this what it is. That safety was an embarrassment.
Oh, awful.
I don't know if you guys recall that sequence. The play before that, there was a running play in which he had an opportunity to throw a block to try to free the running back and not have a loss. He completely did nothing. Then the next play, he takes an absolutely unnecessary gamble, scrambling into the end zone and takes a safety they could not afford to give up. I don't know, Don. Like I just feel like we need so long to decide on quarterbacks. It seems like we finally just decided Dak was good this year. I don't know that I'm ready to make the decision on who Jalen Hurts is.
It's funny. So you're not ready to make the decision on Jalen Hurts, and I don't know if I am either. And I mentioned earlier about the Dolphins have to make a decision about Tua. A couple of Dolphin fans attacked me on Twitter. You know, he's been great, but it's all about winning championships. And you've got the thing in the back of your head, which the Giants have to have with Daniel Jones. The guy's had concussion problems. This year he didn't. Thank God he didn't. But he's one hit away, and he has not performed. He didn't perform in the big game against Kansas City. He didn't play well. Jalen Hurts didn't play well, but Jalen Hurts did take you to a Super Bowl.
Now, I didn't ask whether, who is an elite quarterback or who's got a better chance, whatever. I said, who's better, Hurts or Prescott? And right now, I would question. Probably it's not to me. I mean, I think there's flaws in both. And clearly, Hurts seems broken right now, although I think there's a problem with that knee.
And his finger.
And the finger, for sure. And everything kind of fell apart around him. And I could certainly question his leadership because as things are falling apart, he seemed to fall apart with it rather than kind of galvanize the team and make them better. But he's a kid, basically. He hasn't been in the league that long. He did have that run last year to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if he's the answer, but Dak has been in the league longer. He's had great teams and just can't. That was embarrassing what happened.
But Dak had a hell of a year this year.
He did. I mean, so again, look at Tony Romo's stats. I mean, there's guys that were tremendous regular season quarterbacks, MVP level quarterbacks that just didn't translate into the postseason at all. And that's where I talk about the pressure of playing for the Dallas Cowboys, to play under Jerry Jones, where you're expected to win championships, and they've been a very, very good team for a long, long time. And all eyes seem to be on them, and you can't say that he's handled it. There's been a lot of postseason failure there. And at least Hurts can say, I've won a couple of playoff games, and I had a lead in the Super Bowl.
Now, who did the Cowboy-Packer game? Was it CBS?
That was an NBC.
Yeah, that was
no, Cowboy-Packer was Fox.
Okay. Yeah, that was the Fox game, yeah.
That was
the
think
Fox was under orders? I mean, they show Jerry Jones constantly when they're winning. They showed him once in a game that they were getting embarrassed. Once. People on Twitter were saying, why aren't they showing Jerry Jones? So I wonder, I mean, he's got a lot of power in the NFL, but I don't think they're going to return Fox's $1 billion and say you can't do the game. I saw this on Twitter, Peter, and I thought of you. I thought it would make you smile. So as they're getting their butts kicked, right, somebody wrote, if Vince McMahon was in charge of the NFL, right now they'd cut to the box and Jerry Jones would be sitting with Bill Belichick. Be perfect.
Well, people were saying the same thing. Yeah, the idea of all of a sudden at halftime you see Belichick walk out, and I was like, if Jerry Jones was really sort of the guy, the cunning businessman, the monster we've all dreamed him up to be, wouldn't you guys have loved if in the fourth quarter someone who just walked out, some lowly assistant just walks out, goes up to McCarthy and just sticks his hand out to take his headphones and his clipboard? Don't even finish the fourth. We'll just go ahead and call it from up here. And guys, did you really process how big a change it must be mentally from where Nick Sirianni was sitting a year ago to right now?
Not even a year ago, when they beat the Chiefs.
Right, exactly.
And did you see that Chiefs game? Somebody had a video of it today, and it's so telling. He's like making fun. I guess they're up at the end, and he's like spouting off, I guess, to the Chiefs bench. And Jalen Hurts slapped his hand down and said, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was pretty telling. That was the beginning of the end.
And how about last night, in addition to everything going wrong, and maybe, guys, I'm making a bigger deal about it than it is. Maybe it's just optics. Him pulling points off the board twice looked so crazy.
Yeah, but I understood why he was doing it.
Well, the second time, that made
the tush push,
sense.
It didn't work. I couldn't believe it.
The second, well, and also,
I don't even know why he was kicking the field goal there. You know, I mean, they were.
But no, you could argue that, but like, why? They were already losing by a touchdown. It was 16-9. You could kick the extra point for 16-10.
Yeah, but once you get the penalty and it's 1 yard, they never get stopped. So it made sense to me.
But it's so greedy. What's the difference between 16-10 and 16-11? And instead, what did it really sucked the air out of the room. Instead, they stopped the tush push.
16-11, huge 2 field goals, you're ahead. 16-10, 2 field goals, you're tied.
I get it, but my entire life, that would never be what you consider.
But I essentially agree with you, but that is an unstoppable play that they have.
But in the end, it's not. And if you look it up, what was it this year? I think it got stopped like 5 times. It happened in a critical time that in a moment when you could have really felt good about yourselves, you ended that moment feeling like, oh, wow, they just got a boost from stopping the tush push.
Why give them a boost? And
just kick the extra point and call it a day.
Well, he lost the team. There's little or no question about that. And I would suspect that they would. I know it's. How do you fire a coach that went to the Super Bowl the year before? But, God, when do you see a team go 10-1 and completely collapse like that? Because, like Michael brought up, he did in '86 when the Jets did, and the Jets weren't nearly as good as the Eagles were. When, like, the '85 Jets went to the Super Bowl, they were 10-1. They completely collapsed, but they got off the mat to win a playoff game.
But Don, you'll remember, they completely collapsed because they got ravaged by injuries.
Oh, yeah, they lost
That's
Lions.
Not the case
they
with
lost
the Eagles.
Yeah, they lost the. Now, listen, the Eagles had. I still don't think Hurts is 100%, but still, how do you explain just not tackling? They look like a team. This is a serious allegation, and I can't prove it. But I think it's at least on the table that they quit on their coach. I mean, when you can't all of a sudden tackle, it just looked like the team just, for whatever reason, didn't feel they had any kind of a chance to win. And that is the best draw you can ask for in the postseason. No offense to the Buccaneers. They won. They deserve to win. I think something that's very underrated is the Baker Mayfield story, that he's won a playoff game, is going to get a chance to play in the divisional round. But still, come on, that's a team that in a must-win situation the week before against the worst team in football won 9-0.
And think about this, too, with the Bucs, right? They were $89 million of dead cap space. That's a third of the cap. I guess $40 million of it was for Tom Brady. So Baker Mayfield comes in there. I think he makes $4 million, and he got himself some money now. I mean, that team was not supposed to make the playoffs this year. They just weren't. They were going to. This was their penance that they were going to pay for winning the Super Bowl, and they did that. Another sidebar that we haven't even hit on yet: the youngest team in the NFL is the Packers. They beat the Cowboys,
25.
right? I mean, how do you? This is a broad stroke here. But how does that make Aaron Rodgers look? He lost last year in the last game of the year that would have gotten in the playoffs. He didn't do it. He's gone, takes his greatness with him, and Jordan Love comes in and wins a playoff game.
I hear what you're saying, but I could also counter, if you will, counselor. Look at the team that the Packers lost to. Granted, it was a Lions team that was not going to the playoffs, but when you look at what that Lions team became, and they were playing hard because they felt that they wanted to win that game because they felt like that they were going to set the tone for the following season, and here they are.
That doesn't
the Lions,
matter.
The second-best team in the NFC.
Is supposed to be the greatest quarterback
I get
of all
it, but I'm
time.
just saying it's...
And also, the Cowboys are better than that last year's Lions team.
I understand that, but didn't it feel like the way it went down, in both, and again, no offense to the Buccaneers or the Packers, but the way that the Eagles and Cowboys lost, didn't it feel like whoever they played, they were going to lose?
I don't know about that.
Definitely Philadelphia.
The Eagles,
Come
yes.
on.
The Eagles,
Look at the Eagles with the losses to the Cardinals and the Giants
Eagles had
down the
easiest
stretch.
Draw. They got the worst team, and they got
I think the
white.
Eagles were going to lose no matter what. But the way the Cowboys lost, it kind of, again, you're right. The Philadelphia definitely, Cowboys debatable. But the way the Cowboys went down, the self-inflicted wounds, it really felt like it was just not their day. And that there was a lot of other teams they would have lost to besides the Packers. I think both of them would have lost no matter who they played because their problems are within themselves.
Okay, but you don't think that Jordan Love doing this, they had to win the last game he did, then the first playoff game they go to Dallas, and Dallas hasn't lost in Dallas, and they win that. It takes the sting away from losing Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, no question. But the thing with the Packers is, and one of the reasons I pick against them is that's the same team that needed the game at MetLife on Monday Night Football and got beat by the Giants and Tommy DeVito. Like, so the Packers were very much up and down. So, good for Love, but I don't think everything is equal. I let's see what he does next week. But all I'm saying is that was a better than advertised Lions team. That was not a team playing out the string last year. That was a Lions team that if there was an extra couple of weeks, probably make the playoffs and maybe make a run. Man, that was a good Lions team, and we saw that come to fruition this year.
But to Michael's point, you can view it through the eyes of Rodgers. Either way, Love looks amazing, right? This kid is the absolute real deal. I truly believe that by this time next year, and if not next year, certainly the following, he's in that top 5 conversation.
I don't
We'll
know.
be talking. We'll say Mahomes, Josh Allen, blah blah blah, Jordan Love.
Really?
Adon. I'm telling you, he is it.
All right.
Dude.
Well,
I'm seeing a level of confidence in the way this kid throws the ball, man. Listen. Either way, though, me using superlatives aside, it's an incredibly young team. They don't have famous players basically anywhere. I mean, the most notable player on the team who's been around for more than 5 minutes is Bakhtiari, who's not playing. And for Rodgers to be gone and the team to improve, it just makes, at the very least, Michael, it makes the Packers look fantastic.
Makes them look,
if it doesn't make Rodgers look
all right, so
good,
let me throw this at you, Don. Maybe this is an easier question. Is Rodgers second-guessing himself for playing? I think he was getting out of Green Bay because he thought the getting was good. This team's going to be young. They're not going to have stars. Have no chance to win. You think he's second-guessing himself?
I don't know, because there was a lot of drama there. I think he was anxious to leave.
His self-inflicted drama. That's him.
Yeah, but he doesn't look at it that way. You're asking me how he feels today. Does he? I don't think he regrets it. No. And I don't mean in the way Peter's talking Love up. Maybe they're better off with Love than Rodgers. Who knows? We still haven't seen Rodgers
play. A young
play.
quarterback than a 41-year-old.
But here's the thing: we still haven't seen Rodgers play. Let's see Rodgers play at any kind of a level. Last time we saw Rodgers play, you're right. They lost to the Lions in a must-win situation. Then 4 plays into the season, he was done. So let's see what he can be. But
just
Peter.
Before anyone crushes me for saying I think he'll be a top 5 quarterback in the next year or two, just remember he did not play the first 2 years, guys. He played 1 game, so this is essentially his first year playing. He finishes 9-8, wins a playoff game, throws for 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions.
But here's the big question, Peter. In your initial tables, he's on table 4. Has he jumped to table 1?
No, I don't think you can do that, but I think I might start him at table 2 next year.
Interesting.
It is interesting, but because Peter's kind of following the trend that I was going to try to debunk here about, like, oh, look at the Packers. They're going to go from Favre to Rodgers to Love. I mean, are we ready to make that leap?
Peter is.
It sounds like it. I mean, listen, I'm rooting for him. It'd be great to see, but I need to see more. Like I said 5 minutes ago, they were losing on Monday Night Football to the Giants.
But think about how quickly things can change, John. He goes out to San Francisco, puts up a money game, win or lose, just puts up a money game against San Francisco.
Right.
You're probably ready to believe a lot.
Okay, fine, but it shows you how fluid it is because, boy, were we anointing Hurts last year, and now we're questioning ourselves a year later.
Say this. I would like to say this. I did get on board with Hurts, but it took me time.
Yeah,
I have always been a little unsure, and when they handed Hurts the money, I thought it was a lot of money. I was happy for the kid, and I know his agent. She's done Hot 97 a couple times. She's a really cool lady. Good for them. They scored. Wow. But I was like, man, that's a heap of cash to give a guy that we've seen that little from.
There is a person that his first 2 years as a manager in Major League Baseball won 203 games that agrees with you. Aaron Boone just texted us saying he's with you.
Yeah, he's in.
He loves
he's
Love.
in on Love.
Who doesn't love Love?
Now here's
he's
the bigger question. How did the brisket go down for Ballard?
Yeah, it must have just slid.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you. So he ordered it from this place called Snow's. It's like an hour outside of Austin. And we got ribs and we got brisket. The ribs were literally pure crack cocaine. I mean, it was the most delicious. Don, not a drip of sauce. You'd be disrespecting to even pull out the barbecue sauce. Okay, that's how delicious it was. The ribs were slamming. Our friend Elliot made some dip. Natalie made some pico de gallo. I just felt bad because our friend Elliot was there too, and he's a huge Cowboys fan. Now, we all knew what the situation would be. It was Ballard versus Elliott, and that's the way it's going to be. But, like, it got to a point, guys, of so bad. You don't even want to look up and make eye contact.
Well,
it was disgusting what happened.
I don't like to judge people like Michael, but what was his name, the Cowboy fan?
Elliot.
Probably a punk.
Your brother's a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, and I love him. I mean, there's only like my wife and my children and my mother are the only ones that are on the same table as my brother as far as love is concerned. There's a lot of punk in David.
Wow.
No.
I think even Peter would agree, and Peter's a fan.
I love him. There's some punk in him. I love him. No, but my friend, it's funny because my friend Elliot, zero punk.
Oh, really?
In him. He's like a laid back, seems like more.
So how did he become a Cowboy fan? I need the story. I need the origin story.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's one. You know, with I forget how his origin story began, but it's childhood. It's little kid.
That must have been some fun time.
There's very few Cowboy fans that I respect.
I just
maybe
I understand.
One probably like my brother, and Ray Santiago, and John Stark. Those are the only three I can think of. But I can think of like 100 Cowboy fans. Those are the only three that I respect.
How about Dave Rothenberg, our esteemed morning show host, just trolling Eagles and Cowboy fans?
I'm like, grow up.
You also have to stop. Your team didn't make the playoffs.
Thank you. I'm not that. I'm not a guy that hangs on the rim. But, like, listen, am I happy the Cowboys and Eagles lost? Absolutely. Any Giant fan would feel that way. But to troll them when your team won 6 games.
And then to say, you won the same amount of playoff games as us. Stop it.
I love that.
Just stop. Please, Dave.
But isn't that kind of like a loser's mentality, honestly? And then Dave's no loser.
This? So he's ripping the Cowboys, and then somebody answers him back on Twitter, right? And says, your wife is ugly.
Oh.
Right? So
not
Dave,
right, not
with
true.
the classic comeback, goes, so's your mother.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going, wow.
Well, that's.
No, wait, but hold on. But I don't like that comeback. It's almost like you're saying true, but your mother's also ugly. That's not a good response.
Maybe, but
and Sherry's gorgeous. That's a terrible response.
He doesn't even know she's hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, not during football season.
Yeah, but no, it's
wouldn't even notice.
Believe me, he takes a lot for granted, and his family's right up there at the top of the list.
Do you realize? I've heard. I mean, maybe I'm talking out of school. That during Giant games, Sherry will walk around seductively without any clothes on. He doesn't even look up.
That's
what I've heard.
Each their own. Yep. But I think we all have.
But again, you have to remember, Don. Sherry, at some point, at least twice that we know of, because they have 2 children, at least twice said, what would be fun? Laying down next to that. So we gotta question. We gotta question what's going on there. We really do.
Come on, guys. You can't make that work. What is the Kelsey commercial with the Pfizer? What's the slogan for it?
Don, don't bring up vaccines. What are you doing?
2 at 1. Come on, you can't do 2 things. That's 2 things at once. You can't do 2 things at once. And besides, what is he going to miss? A play?
Oh wow!
Right? There's no commercial breaks during the football. Come on.
I think you're giving him. I think he might be missing. 20 seconds of the clock. That's it. Not even a play.
Wow. I was giving him at least a...
By the way, you could get it in between 2nd and 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You don't think there's something wrong there? That your wife, and you said she's very attractive.
Beautiful woman.
That she's going to seductively walk in front of the TV like during some like rogue Giant October game, against the Panthers. You can't figure
Don, remember,
it out.
This is a man who... Don't forget last year at the Beach Bash when he told us he will not make afternoon plans on a Sunday post 4 o'clock, even if the Giants played at 1, and even if the 4 o'clock games are just like Raiders, Broncos, pure filth, Tampa, Chargers, he still has to stay home. Some people like sports too much. Me and Beetle had a moment yesterday while doing our Over the Top podcast, which you should go subscribe to. We were talking about how neither of us like the draft. Like her and I are in that category of sports fan. There are some people, they go to a degree, Don, it's too far. They need to get out there and see things. And by things, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, to score a touchdown, Dave, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. Like Sherry, when the time comes to propose, do what I did.
So, you need a suit. A tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party. Or you're someone's plus one. And the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Press the button to order lottery tickets. It's that easy.
You know, that really happened. I was in the bathtub and I was like, oh my God, I got to put my numbers in. And I grabbed my phone and
my phone started exploding with texts and emails from Jack Pocket telling me I won big. I still can't believe I'm a lottery winner.
How did I celebrate? I kind of did a little happy dance out to the living room.
Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the Only Pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping, always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of Fans' Hearts.
Ma, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight? Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan.
Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
exactly like me. I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
What can you get for 10 cents? How about a pocket full of cash to spend on a tropical vacation, sports car, you name it? Because with jackpots on DraftKings Casino, you can turn 10 cents into tens of thousands, even over $1 million. On roulette, slots, blackjack, baccarat, and more. Jackpot winnings are at 50 million and counting, and the next could hit any second. So score the latest jackpots offer when you get America's #1 online casino app. DraftKings Casino, the crown is yours.
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app to stream the Nets and experience the game in a whole new way. With a live stat overlay to track your favorite players. Free-to-play gaming with big cash prizes. And earn and redeem rewards for gift cards and gear. So remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where firsthand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
ESPN New York Super Box Bonanza 5. This year, each qualifier will take home a $25 Fanatics gift card and have a chance at one of 10 Super Box prizes. Be caller number 88 right now at 888-987-ESPN to select a box for the big game with a chance to win $500 in the first and third quarters, $1,000 at halftime, and a final score payout of $2,000. All brought to you by Tullamore Dew, Irish Whiskey, and the new Tullamore Dew Honey. 1-800-919-3776. Let's take some phone calls. Dave in Queens. Dave?
Hey, guys, can I join?
You may.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Don, real quick, Jerry Recco, you respect him as a Cowboy fan? Then I have a bone to pick with Mike. Jerry Recco?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, I do.
All right, cool. I figured you would.
Because he actually kept DirecTV just for the Cowboy games and actually got his cable elsewhere, which I do respect.
Okay, thank you. Noted. And, Michael, I have a bone to pick with you today about... I'm sorry, the Stafford thing. First of all, the fans can't show weakness and really go crazy for him. They have to boo, number one. And number two, I would boo him, and I don't have a dog in the fight just for... He's a bad guy, Mike. What he did on that stage when the photographer fell backwards and he, took a sip of water and, walked away. Now, I'm not expecting him to go break his arm. He's, worth millions, but at least show some compassion. Did you see that video, Mike? Yeah, when she fell off backwards, he didn't even,
I don't think they booed him because of that, though.
No, I didn't. Don, I didn't say they booed him because of that. I'm saying I would boo him for that. I'm saying they didn't boo. They booed him because they can't
you're the first person I've heard, Dave, say that he's a bad guy. He's supposed to be a tremendous guy.
He's a bad guy. Look at that video.
Oh, okay. So we don't even know. We don't even know the story behind that video. She might have fallen a foot, and she might have fallen into a bed. Who knows what happened? And it's his responsibility. No, wait a minute. The guy's wife battled brain cancer. He wanted to be in Detroit. He stayed there 12 years, took a beating every single year. Listen, I'm not saying cheer him during the game, Dave. I understand that. But to boo him so vociferously right from the very start and then get on his wife and 4 young daughters, that's wrong.
No. I'm not saying do anything to the family. I'm saying boo. I'm saying the word boo. If I was in that stadium, I would boo.
Okay, you can boo.
Bless his wife. No, but the fans can't show weakness because they're hungrier than any fan base out there.
But come on.
They're not playing. They can't show weakness. Well, what kind of statement is that? They're not playing. Who cares if they show weakness? You showed yourself to be fair weather fans. The guy is a great player, was one of the greatest players in Lions history, never got a chance to be on a great team. You want to boo him during the game? You could boo him during the game, but it was antagonistic. It started when he came out. When he came out on the field, it started. Why? You don't show any appreciation for the guy that he was? He did not want to be traded. And the trade turned out to be unbelievable for the Lions.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I honestly don't get it.
Listen, I don't think it's like evil. It's just not the kind of fan I am. He's not the kind of guy I'd hold anger.
I would think
for.
you'd have some appreciation for him. And also the deal worked out for you. It worked out for the Rams, but it also worked out for you. You were not winning with Stafford. You got Goff as kind of like a throw-in in the deal because you needed a quarterback, and now he's your quarterback, leading you to your second playoff win since 1957. Think about that. And your first home game in the playoffs in over 30 years.
Let's go to Matthew in Connecticut.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Matthew?
Good. I wanted to tell you, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. I usually talk about the Yankees. I was pretty disgusted by that whole game on Sunday.
I don't blame you.
I do agree with Don. I do think that Jerry Jones does need to get a better coach, and he needs to stay out of the way. It's sickening when he does that, when he just cheers on the sideline constantly. Just like stay back and let the coach do his job. Just like what Jimmy Johnson did when he first started. The team was 1-15, and he did all the trades, and they won 3 Super Bowls.
Well, listen, I'm going to say something that's unpopular.
Okay.
If I was the owner of a team, I'd sure as heck be involved. What's the fun of owning the team? He's got billions of dollars. I would be just like him. I'd be just like George Steinbrenner. I would be involved, and I'd be part of putting the team together. But in terms of all the publicity he wants, that's not cool. But if he can run the team and make, well, he's essentially a fantasy draft guy who has a $6 million fantasy team. Why not have fun with it?
Wait, I hear what you're saying, and as much as I don't like him, the fact is that I just said that they've probably had the most talent over the last 15 years than any other NFL team. He's responsible for that.
Who put that talent together?
He's responsible for that, but he does take it too far. I think a team has to be run by its head coach. That has to be the alpha male in the room, not the general manager, not the owner. I understand you want to hold press conferences and you want to be in your suite, but he's too much, Michael, and he's been the one constant since Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was the guy that, even though Jerry was huge, Jimmy was the face of that team, and he had a lot to do with personnel moves. And it's no coincidence that since Jimmy left, and that team started to fall apart after it happened. And I know they were able to win after Jimmy that one Super Bowl, but that was pretty much what Jimmy built. And then since then, nothing. A lot of talent, a lot of playoff appearances, but not a lot of playoff wins. 4 playoff wins in the last 25-plus years? He's been the constant during that period of time. So he's going to have to make some sort of an adjustment.
But if you're saying they have great talent, he's not coaching the team. He's picking the wrong coaches.
But he's picking the wrong coaches for sure. But it wasn't like he's had. I don't know why
he stayed with Jason Garrett as long as he did.
Well, because part of it was he doesn't want a guy that's going to put up much resistance. And Mike McCarthy had his hat in his hand, despite the fact that he won a Super Bowl in Green Bay and got the job. And Phillips wasn't a bad coach either. But those guys aren't really allowed to be the alpha male. Don't you think in football the head coach has to be the figurehead? That has to be the guy that's in charge?
He's got to be the guy.
And
the coach has to be the guy, yeah.
And you can't be the guy when Jerry's there because Jerry wants to be the guy. And I think that's a piece of dysfunction that's been constant for the last 25-plus years.
That could be worked out. But in terms of, like, if you're because Woody Johnson once told me this. This is not me talking. Owning a team is a bad investment. He said if you take the money that you bought a team with and you invested it the way we would invest money, we'd make way more money in other ventures than owning a team. Okay, stop. So if that's the case, if these guys aren't involved and having fun doing it, you don't think Robert Kraft is involved? And it probably chapped him a little bit that he didn't have as much involvement because Bill Belichick ran the whole show.
Right.
So now he's going to get a guy that he could probably be a little more involved.
Right. But, they were able to squeeze a bunch of championships out of it before it happened, and he made it work for almost 25 years. And he's gone through a lot of different coaches there. Dave Campo. I mean, guys nameless guys that were, even Jason Garrett, that was a mistake for a long time because he didn't want any guys that were going to give him any kind of resistance. He wants to be the alpha male. He wants to be the guy. But, and he's made mistakes, too, as a general manager. Giving Ezekiel Elliott that contract was a mistake. We don't know if Dak Prescott's going to be the guy or not. But still, they've got loads of talent. You can make it work. I'm not saying he shouldn't be there. He's the owner. He should be there. but it's a little much, Michael. It's not even a little; it's a lot.
By the way, just to follow up to the call, 2 callers back about Stafford. Do you remember, guys? In the end, Stafford and his wife apologized, paid for the woman's hospital bills, and replaced her cameras, and the woman was fine.
And this guy
that, just put
saw that and said he's a bad guy.
Yeah, like as the now listen, if you watch the video, does it play well? No, but I can also tell you from looking at the video, Stafford and his wife are clearly tipsy or more at the time at which it happens. And then in the end, they ended up taking care of it all and apologizing, even though they didn't do anything except awkwardly walk away. Or he did. Kelly, his wife, did not walk away. He did. But yeah, that's a reach, dude. As the reason to, and again, not vilifying
fans can't show
everyone
weakness,
in Detroit.
though, Peter. They can't show weakness. Fans can't show weakness.
What did that? That I've never heard before.
So you're telling me that there isn't enough nuance where you can give the guy some polite applause and then boo him like crazy the second the ball gets snapped? Like you can't do that? Of course you can do it.
Don, did you just say the word nuance in 2024 America? What are you doing, Musa?
Why did I bother?
Also, if you feel like it's incumbent upon you to boo the guy, okay, he's on the field to play. What would drive you to antagonize his wife and kids? What did they do?
Hey, listen, it's been going on forever, Michael.
And they told the story on the broadcast that the little girls are confused about the game because when they're not at Daddy's game, they absolutely always watch the Lions and they root for the Lions. So they said, who should we root for, Daddy? You're playing the Lions, he said. And the wife said, well, this time you root for... So they're still Lions fans. They love their time there. This is somebody who doesn't disparage Detroit, doesn't want to be there. Loved everything about it. All 4 of his children were born in Detroit. People have to get a grip. Let's go to Mike in New Jersey.
Michael, Don, Peter, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you, Mike?
Good. So I'm a diehard Rams fan, and I was watching. I love Stafford, by the way, ever since he came to LA. The trade worked out for both teams. I like Goff, and I love Stafford. I couldn't believe they booed him. Right? I had friends of mine that were at the game that were Rams fans. They could not believe the reaction he got. Like people giving him middle fingers and all this stuff. And I don't know if did you guys hear Stafford's quotes after the game?
Yeah, he said, "I'm happy for the team." He didn't say anything about the city.
Love that. And we go back to Detroit next year in a regular season game, and apparently that's when they're going to applaud him and send, show a video and stuff. And if I'm Stafford, I'm a little annoyed, man. Like I didn't want to leave. It was a mutual agreement. I love Detroit. His wife posted a 9-minute video they made when he left. It's so like it's touching how much he meant to that city and how much they meant to him. I could not believe how bad he got booed. I was shocked.
Now you would know this because you said you're a Rams fan. Have the Lions played in L.A. yet with Goff?
They played there last year.
So, did Goff get booed?
No, he got cheered. I think they gave him a tribute. Like, we like Goff.
And Goff loved being a Ram. It's just that Sean McVay said he's not good enough. He can't win a championship. He can take us to a Super Bowl, but he can't win a championship. So
absolutely. Listen. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
The trade worked out for both teams. We felt like we couldn't win with Goff. We got Stafford. We won a Super Bowl. I mean, we had one bad year, but we bounced back this year. And then they worked out. I don't understand. Like, I could not believe when he walked out there the reaction he got. It was like LeBron went back to Cleveland the first time.
But that I understood, Mike. I'm going to tell you why. Thank you for the phone call. And I don't think LeBron should have been, eviscerated. But LeBron left. He decided he couldn't win with Cleveland. He went to Miami. So if they wanted to boo him, they could boo him, and he's a hometown guy. I get all that. This guy didn't want to leave.
It doesn't make sense. He didn't want to leave, and he was not the reason you didn't win. As a matter of fact, he was the reason you came close.
And he's the reason. His trade is the reason you're in this position because you got Goff and 7 players that are contributors.
But I never looked at Detroit with Stafford and go, poor Detroit, poor Lions. I said, poor Stafford.
That was always the feeling.
Yeah.
Peter.
Hi.
Please tell us about Dodge.
Jeff has a problem. It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's beating them up 14 hours a day, going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. At my place, with his buddies, at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof." I don't know if we're going to make it through the 30-day risk-free trial.
Of course they will, babe.
They're super durable.
Not talking about the boots, Jeff.
Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuck It, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Visit untuckit.com or your nearest store today.
Welcome to Win Reality. Experience unlimited at-bats from home any season, anytime. See game speed pitches from more than 600 pitchers. Get ready for game time with game simulations. Face your friends in live competitions. And train like the pros with expert drills and metrics to track your progress. So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win Reality. Baseball uncaged.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got LeBron, Harden, and KD.
Kevin Durant is smoking hot.
We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum.
Jason Tatum is going off.
Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Trailblazers. Tomorrow at 9:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
When choosing between style, comfort, and performance, we chose all of the above. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app to stream the Nets and experience the game in a whole new way. With a live stat overlay to track your favorite players. Free-to-play gaming with big cash prizes. and earn and redeem rewards for gift cards and gear. So remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
We're all trying to put together the pieces.
And the wheels are turning.
This is a move you have to make. It's going to be a chess match. Yankees hot stove is back. A lot to talk about.
He's that important. He's that impactful. Plus, you never know what guests will join us.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
I'm going to need some guidance from Peter. Why is there such enmity? Well, let me give you a more base word, more hate.
Okay.
Such hate for Taylor Swift. Tony Dungy, right, said she's bad for football. She takes the attention away from the players and the games on the field. And what I would say to Tony Dungy, she doesn't put herself on camera. She's not the director cutting to the booth every time there's a big play with Travis Kelce. She didn't film herself walking in with that pretty nice jacket that she had on. Well, why is she bad for the game? I don't understand. Did anybody say Eminem was bad for the game when he was going crazy as a fan with the Lions? No, no one said a word. But there seems to be this hatred for Taylor Swift. What's it about?
I can't speak to it. You know I'm no Dungy guy. I don't know. I don't know any reasonable, like, for example, I have fun hating on Taylor Swift, okay? Her and the entire suite, the dancing at the end, the swag surf in the suite, to me was cringe and made me want to punch my TV.
But everybody does it in the stadium.
But Taylor Swift doing it is extra cringe. Travis Kelce's doing it is that it's all a little cringe and annoying. That's fine. I don't understand why someone would take that a step further and turn it into actual, like, serious criticism, and she's somehow bad for the game.
I think I don't know. I think Dungy falls into the old school category. It should be just about football. Why are we bothered with all the other stuff? And for others, it might just be the fact that, it might be very difficult for some football people, in which I include myself as one, to digest that there might be something bigger than you out there. Right?
And then Brett Favre took a shot at her today.
Well, he's lost. I mean, come on.
He said she's only dating Travis Kelce so she could get publicity. Really?
I mean,
and that it's going to end poorly. Now, Don and Peter convinced me when this all started. It does give her a different audience, but she's a billionaire. She sells out everywhere she goes. I don't think she needs Travis Kelce.
Yeah, she could have picked anyone and made them Travis Kelce, honestly.
Nah, I just, probably got to get myself into trouble here, but
don't.
It's funny how you get so irritated, but meanwhile, like, part of the institution of football is having scantily clad women on the sidelines dry humping a pom-pom. Like, come on, she bothers you.
Now, I am going to connect the fact. See if you guys could disagree with me.
All right.
Travis Kelce is playing some of his worst football. Can't hold on to the football. So I sat down quietly and thought about it. He has never, ever had, like, a love in his life like this, I would think. I mean, he certainly dated a lot of women, but this is very public, and I think his life is just great. And it's probably going to get better. There's rumors that they're going to get engaged in the summer. I think he might be short-arming it. He doesn't want to get hurt. He doesn't want this all to go away.
Well, that could be happening if it was a checkout girl. Like, if he found the love of his life,
right,
and now he's distracted. It has nothing to do with the fame of her. It's just that if he's fallen in love and now is assessing his priorities, that could be any woman.
That feels like a big stretch.
You think
to
so?
me.
I'm just trying. Why is he playing so poorly?
He's old.
But that doesn't mean that you stop making catches. He dropped 2 huge balls there in that game.
No, he had a bad one. I mean, in all fairness, he also in what wasn't a hugely productive game, he had 71 yards. He was the second leading receiver on the team. He wasn't a jabroni, but yeah, he had a couple of big drops. I mean, aging does lead to mistakes. That is a real thing.
He got old from the Super Bowl.
Hey, here's how you both could be right. Peter, you can't dismiss what Michael is saying. Chemistry is a very fine thing. Like, how did Philadelphia just all of a sudden lose it? They forgot how to play football? Like, I think everything has to be in balance. Now, what I take exception to is it's because it's Taylor Swift. But to Michael's point, it's just the fact that he's in love and thinking about life and family. You don't think that slight imbalance can be the difference between Pro Bowler and now dropping a football? It's a really tough sport.
I mean, honestly, I think it's more likely the wear and tear of being the number one offensive option on a team at 34 years old.
Hey,
there's a guy who for a long time, they had a lot of other things that made that offense incredibly dynamic. Those things are not all there anymore. He's getting older at the same time. I mean, I don't know. I think that's just as likely as him being distracted in some way because he's in this relationship.
I didn't say distracted. I'm saying...
Or changing his priorities.
He loves so much where his life is and where it's headed, he doesn't want to lose it, doesn't want to get hurt. Maybe he's not extending to make the catch.
No, see, Don, you don't think that sounds nuts? That's like so calculated.
That could be a bridge too far. Where I'm not saying he doesn't think it's worth diving for the ball, but can there be something in his head, a little bit of a distraction? Thinking about the finish line instead of maybe focusing on the moment? But
he says he wants to play like 4 more years.
Well, he won't play 4 more years if he keeps dropping passes. I think the whole team, I think Peter's right. The whole team is going through a transition. I think what happened with Miami is more the aberration. I don't think this team's built for a run. I think they're getting older. They've lost a lot of personnel.
I think Don's taking the Bills. That's what it sounds like.
Playing on the road for the first time with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I love the. How do you not love the Bills? They're one of the most appealing lines out there this week.
I mean, it's hard to, but right now they didn't have to play. Like San Francisco or Baltimore is obviously on a different level because they had the bye. But of the teams that played, I think they're the best team right now. Of the teams that played this weekend, they're hot at the right time.
I would agree. I will come back with more, a lot of stuff to talk about. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday? I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Hey. Hey. Rental? Yeah. You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied.
Oh. Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblackducks.com.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Boost your streaming experience with live stats on the Yes app. Real-time features like player stats, game leaders, and play-by-play are available now on phones, tablets, and now on connected TVs. Live stats while you stream, now on the Yes app.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Built Ford Tough.
Now, returning lessees can get the Ford F-150 for $299 a month for 24 months, only at your local Ford stores.
Sports. They connect us all. And with free mobile internet service from Maxip Telecom, it's easier than ever to stay connected. Young or old, rookie or veteran, now you can get 15 gigabytes of monthly internet totally free if you qualify through the Affordable Connectivity Program. Plus, receive a 4G Android tablet for just $20. Now that's a big assist. Call 888-348-3003 to find out if you qualify. Maxip Telecom, the official ACP provider of the Brooklyn Nets.
When we talk about leaving a legacy behind, we mean making lasting change in the futures of all New Yorkers, in the fabric of the places we love, through the values we hold dear. The New York Community Trust makes it possible to champion the causes that you care about, with powerful ways for everyone to give. Visit thetrust.nyc.
What a day. What a day. All the football to talk about. We've got unbelievable games this weekend. Although it looks like I might be done in our picks. I'm still 3.5 out. That game, that Pittsburgh game was the killer, because if I win that, then I pick up 3 points, and I'm a half point behind. Now I'm still 3.5 back. Peter is 9.5 ahead of Don. It's essentially over.
Well, there's 7 games left. So we can still keep our, just to remind everybody how we do it, or maybe you can even remind me, that we can still keep our same point system in place for this week, because we've got more than 3 games on the docket. But then when we get the championship weekend, what are we doing? Just a 3 and a 2.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of time, Michael. We're talking like one game.
But let's look at it. So 6, 5, and 6. We have 12 points left to play with.
12 points. Now, here's where it gets scary, because we didn't do it this week because it didn't matter. But you don't want anybody to play 4 corners, so we're going to have to submit our picks before the show, or at least before 5:45 on Friday, so we may double up. So there are 7 opportunities and 12 available points, Michael, but there's a very good chance we might like the same teams and make it even harder for you to be able to keep up, but there's still time.
There's 14 points, Anthony just said. 3.
All right. So you're 3.5 behind, and there's 14 points. It's just that the fact that there may be games that we both like and have equal point allocation is your biggest fear right now. But there's still time.
So you're giving me the championship.
Well, essentially I am. But here's the deal. Fun with numbers. I can't believe they are so dedicated to this. But they said that if Don could pick the NFC East, he'd be leading you. He has missed every pick of the NFC East. He's 0 for every pick of the NFC East. You would think the division that he knows the best. That's been his blind spot.
Here's, because I was thinking about this a lot today.
Crazy.
Because we all had, like, tough weeks. But it was all the same, so basically it's like the week didn't happen. Is it really knowledge of sports or football, or is it just am I deficient in just? I think I'm deficient in gambling. I think there's an art to picking that I don't have. But I mean, I think I know football. It's just how much somebody's going to win by. I don't know. Because we essentially all got the Lion game right.
Because when you just pick winners like you did in the Daily News, you won.
Yeah. Now that's a lot easier to do. I give it. I say that. But is a lack of betting, ability to bet, a referendum on your knowledge of the sport, or is it more to say that you're not very good at betting? Or is it essentially saying the same thing? I don't think it is.
It might be a little of both. It's a great question. I'm not sure. I think it's a little of both. Maybe we don't know as much as we think. Because Peter doesn't know that much that he should be running away from.
Well, I don't want to insult people who are having a conversation.
Well, no, that's not insulting to say that I would know that much more, that I'm that much better. I'm not offended by that. I think it's about not overthinking. I will say this. We spend a lot of time talking about, like, Michael has taken many shots at me on how casual I am at the picks, and he puts a lot of stock in the reading every statistic about what teams do against what. I think that, Don, does not add up to very much.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what my problem is. There's two things that I have. I'm gutless because why didn't I follow my original thought earlier in the week about the Packers? Like, why did I talk myself out of it? Because I'm gutless, because that would have been a really tough pick. That would have been a strong stance that I wasn't willing to take. I was not willing to take because I'm gutless. And also, I'm sure Fun with Numbers could probably look this up. My problem is I take way too many favorites.
I do too. I'm not a great guy with the underdogs.
And I think that kind of falls under the gutless category, Michael, of because you're taking a chance. What you're saying is, I think Vegas has this wrong. And that's a tough thing to do. So it's safer to say, all right, I think Vegas is probably onto something, so I'm going to go with the heavily favored team. And I think that's what bit me more than anything else.
Now, this weekend, you got the Packers at the Niners, you've got the Buccaneers at the Lions, you got the Texans at the Ravens, and you got the Chiefs at the Bills. Now, there's some pretty big favorites there, but just the way the history of the NFL will tell you, one of these underdogs is going to win. So, I mean, the most likely underdog to win, because it's not as big a spread as the others, would be the Chiefs. So let's take that out and say the other three games. The Packers more likely to beat the Niners, Buccaneers over the Lions? I don't think so. Texans over the Ravens?
Yeah, I don't see that.
I can't see Packers going to San Francisco winning. I don't think the Texans are going to beat the Ravens. So again, the underdog that I think that has a chance to win would be the Chiefs.
Right, and the spread dictates that.
Right.
Was it 2.5 or whatever it is, and that might even get closer. But they're intriguing in their own way. Like how the Ravens are just one of those strange teams, right? They're clearly the best team in the AFC right now, the way that they played down the stretch of the season, but they do sometimes let teams hang around. This Texans team got no pressure on them at all. What's expected of them on Saturday? They won a playoff game. They're in the playoffs. Nobody expected that. They were one of the worst teams in football. And this Texan, but then at the other end of it, you're like, this is no offense, this is a Texan team that got blown out by the Jets. Like, it's so tough. This year is so weird because every team's got some sort of a flaw, and nothing seems to go to script anymore. 49ers, they had injuries, but clearly they look like the best team in football. They lost 3 in a row earlier in the season. Like, who saw that coming?
Now, when you talk about the Jets, it made me think of something I want to talk about. So, there's a chance that Mike McCarthy, who's won 36 games in the last 3 years, is going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that Nick Sirianni, I believe he's won 37 games the last. Well, no, he's been only there 2. Was he there the year before the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think he was.
Yes.
So I think it's 37 games in 3 years. Mm-hmm. He might get fired. Pete Carroll, great he might get fired. Robert Saleh has won 8. He got fired. Robert Saleh's won 18 games in 3 years.
You can't do it.
No chance.
You can't do it.
And now, both the Jets and the Giants, here's my thought on them. They better be really sure that these are the guys they want. moving forward. Because I'm going to tell you what, are you ever going to see coaches of this stature available? This stature. Bill Belichick, you can make the argument he's the greatest coach / manager in the history of sports. Pete Carroll, he's won in college, he's won in the pros. Mike Vrabel, outstanding coach. I mean, when are you going to get to choose? I forgot Harbaugh. He's taken the team to the Super Bowl. He's won a national championship. These are the guys that are out there. Anybody could have them. Anybody. And you're both committed. If you're committed, that's cool. But you better be right.
Yeah,
because these type of coaches might not become available again.
Especially with the Giants' dysfunction with the whole Wink thing. Like, I take Dable's side in it, but you still have to kind of wonder, all right, not getting along with his coaches. But at least he's won a playoff game, right? So you can kind of understand where the Giants are coming from. But, again, sorry, Robert Saleh, the best thing you could say is incomplete. There's a lot of reasons why he's had 3 losing seasons, but you're telling me you're not
incomplete.
You're not upgrading your team by letting Saleh go and picking one of these coaches?
And that right there, like if the Jets ownership believes that Robert's the guy, then that's cool. Then he's the guy. But that's not why Robert Saleh is keeping his job. Robert Saleh is keeping his job because of Aaron Rodgers.
So I'd ask Aaron. Like, Aaron, what's your MO here? Like, what is your angle? Is it because that you know that if they get one of those other coaches that they might get in your face a bit?
No, I don't think that's it, Don. I think he's worried that another coach comes in and doesn't want Hackett. That's his worry. He knows that Hackett's staying as long as Douglas and Saleh are there. That's the issue. I mean, he's a big boy. He could get yelled at by a coach. But he needs his guy there. And I think that's a bad way to run an organization. It's just a bad way.
But now, I don't know who any of these guys would bring in as their OCs. But if you're Bill Belichick, if you're any of these coaches, wouldn't you look at it and say, I've got Aaron Rodgers for a year, maybe 2. And it gives us our best chance to win right now because he's a great quarterback. Wouldn't I want him to be happy with his guy? Or why would I come in there and the first thing I do is fire the coach that my quarterback loves and bring in somebody that he doesn't? Like,
but
wouldn't
you know
that be
that
counterproductive?
A great head coach wants his own coordinator. There's
get
ways
it.
that he wants the game called.
Right. Granted, but Bill Belichick essentially is a defensive guy, right?
Right.
He wants to win immediately. He wants to get all those wins to be able to break the record for wins. He wants to win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, if he were to take the Jet job, would give Aaron Rodgers give him the best chance to get that Super Bowl. So wouldn't the best thing to do is make sure that he's comfortable and that he has his guy rather than force somebody down his throat and now maybe devalue your best chance to win? Like I understand you want to bring in your own guy, but isn't your best chance having Aaron Rodgers be happy? And it would only be for a couple of years, and then Rodgers goes, and then you can have you one. Now, I know a couple of years is a long time for a 71-year-old coach in Belichick and a 72-year-old. But I just think that, don't you want to give yourself the best chance to win? Doesn't give that give the Jets the best chance to win?
Chance to win is to keep everything status quo, because this incarnation of the.
You just can't make a move right now, though. There's just no way to make the move when you have everything built around Rodgers. What do? Go out and get a coach, get Rodgers to approve the coach. If Rodgers is in, then you're good on said coach. But you know that Rodgers is only going to be around for, who knows? It could be 1 year, It could be 2 years. We have no idea. It's just so hard to make a decision on anything moving forward.
No, but the thing is that, all right, maybe they don't take the job, but isn't it worth the ask? Like, you could make a phone call and say, Bill, any interest in coming here? And if he says no, okay. All right, no, at least I tried. And if he said yes, all right, would you be okay if while Aaron Rodgers is here that Hackett's the OC? No? Okay. Like, isn't it worth that? Is that a disrespect to Saleh if you did that? Just to make a phone call? If it comes out, but Bill isn't going to be chirping.
The Cubs did it. You know what? They felt they got a better manager than David Ross. So, I mean, I think that
I just can't imagine you can honestly say to yourself that you're better off with Robert Saleh. You could be the biggest Robert Saleh fan there is. You could be Robert Saleh yourself. Can Robert Saleh honestly, with conviction, say, I would do a better job next year than Bill Belichick? That I would do a better job than Jim Harbaugh? How could he say that?
Well, he has enough confidence in himself about Harbaugh, but you can't say that about Belichick. And I'm not advocating for Robert Saleh to be fired. I'm not. That's not me. I'm just saying you can't keep a guy because of a 40-year-old quarterback that's going to be here 2 years. If that's the reason he's staying, then you're not examining the best way to make your team a force. You're just not.
It's so, I hate this phrase, but it is like typical Jets, right? That this is the year they're all available. Right. All these coaches are. It can't be at the end of Rodgers. It couldn't be before you decided to get in bed with Rodgers. It has to be now.
But you know what's funny though, Don? Now is the time that you could get rid of a coach that has 18 wins over 3 years. It's the perfect time, but they are locked in because of the Svengali that's their quarterback that has cast a spell over the entire organization. He has cast a spell. They voted him the most inspirational player. Played four snaps.
He's the man.
He is the man.
And I get it. So, but I would have a conversation with him. Hey, listen, I know you love Robert Saleh, but you look at these coaches that are available. I got to make a phone call here. Are you completely married? You're telling me that if I've got a chance to get Bill Belichick, who you went on McAfee and praised, but the only thing standing in the way of getting him is we're going to have to let go of Hackett. You're convinced that Rodgers would say no way? And if he did say no way, okay, well then you have that conversation. But shouldn't you have it? Hey, I know you're married to Hackett, but this is Bill Belichick.
We're saying this, Don. We don't know. Maybe they have had it. Maybe they have had that conversation.
I love conspiracy theories. I think the fact that he went on McAfee and praised Bill came out of nowhere. It wasn't even a Tuesday. Came on 24 hours after McAfee said he was done for the rest of the season. Comes on to praise Belichick. There had to be something there. Like to let the world know that, hey, if they don't get Bill Belichick, don't blame me. I love the guy.
Now let's go to the phones, 1-800-919-3776. We start with Chuck in North Carolina.
Hello, fellas. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Chuck?
I'm good. Mike, I just want to say thank you. My daughter is 16 years. I made my daughter when I first heard your show. And I've been listening every
Really? Wow.
No. Yes. It happened to be that day flicking. I like sports. I'm from North Carolina. Ray is my homeboy. I like, but my daughter was made listening to y'all. I loved it, y'all, ever since y'all was the Four Horsemen, Don, Juan, LaGreco, Gigi, all of them. But anyway, stop having a pity party. Stop having a pity party for Stafford, please. We was fans when we was 0-15, wearing bags over our head. Stafford had some good teams to play with. He had good players. We just couldn't win. We was a bad organization. We just couldn't win. He's not in the top 10 of best Lions players, but, I ain't going to boo the man. He's all right, but don't have a pity party for him.
I'm curious, Chuck. Give me the 10 that are better than Stafford. I mean, obviously Barry Sanders, Megatron.
Okay, Barry. Herman Moore. We had Herman Moore. Okay. We had
Bobby Lane.
The first
Bobby Lane.
We ain't going that far back, But I'm sitting. Me and you is the same age, Mike. So I could go back that way, but no. But we had Charlie Batch.
Wait a minute. Charlie Batch isn't better than Matt Stafford. Oh, my God.
We just had a bad team at the time. We had good players. Hey, we don't have some good quarterbacks, and they still didn't win.
Yeah, but Chuck, he was there 12 Chuck, he was there 12 years, made the playoffs 3 times. Never had a home playoff game. This is the first playoff game he ever played.
I know, because we was bad.
I gotta tell you.
He wasn't bad, Chuck.
Mike,
they were an awful organization.
He was good. I agree he was good, but he wasn't like you were saying, the top Detroit players.
No, he's in the top 5. He's in their top 5.
He's one of the top Lions players.
Yeah, he's in their top 5. He's in their top 5.
Top 5.
You threw Charlie Batch out. You can't name 5 better than him right now. Can't
You
do
didn't
it.
use
Barry
Alex
Sanders,
Karras.
go on. Herman Moore, maybe.
Herman Moore.
Maybe.
We had Perriman.
Brett Perriman?
Yes, that was
Better
that's
than
all
Matthew
we had at that
Stafford?
time.
But Chuck, Matthew Stafford's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I understand that because of going to the Rams. I'm not
No.
saying that he's garbage.
If he had stayed in
No, but
Detroit,
you're not-
he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
But y'all not listening. I'm not saying that he's garbage. I know Don ready to hang up like he normally do.
No, I never hung up on
But
anyone.
that's what
I've encouraged others to do so.
Come on, Don. I like you, Don. Come on, Don. Juan. Don't have me call Stephen A. Smith for you.
Chuck,
You know,
I just love the fact that your daughter was conceived during the show. That's
Right.
the best
I mean,
thing you
that's-
told us, and we thank you for the
I'm trying
call.
to call y'all
I love
every
it.
year. Every year, I try to call y'all to let y'all know that.
You know
But
what?
I
Have
never
another
get
kid
to.
right now.
No,
Just hang up and have another
I'm
kid right
60
now.
No, I'm 62.
It's
I
all
can't
right.
have no more, man.
Tony
Yeah,
Randall,
yeah,
have a kid
yeah.
at 72.
No, it's all blanks, man. It's all blanks. It's all
I
air.
can't answer to that.
Mike, you know we 62. It's all air, and we done and go ready to go to sleep. Come
No,
on,
I
Mike.
could. You know what,
Come on,
Chuck?
Mike.
If Jody was of the opinion to do it, I could definitely have another kid. Definitely. Definitely.
Sure you could.
You don't know.
You think? What makes you think you start shooting blanks in Chuck's
I don't know.
phrase
I don't know
when
what
you're
makes there are people that are 18 that are. I don't know. I'm just saying it's been a while since you've had that checked out. But no, I love Chuck. He couldn't name anybody.
Who's
Herman
the guy that
Moore,
he said
maybe.
Batch? That was the one that got.
Then we going Charlie Brett Perry.
Charlie Batch was not even good.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably better.
And we didn't even use Bobby Lane. I mean, that's a great player.
Yeah. But if I can't go, and he's like, he won't let us, so what, over the last how many years? I don't know. But even if we opened it up to everyone.
Would Alex Karras be better than Stafford? Or was he just a good actor?
He was he was a good actor. But I don't know. I didn't see him play. He was a good player. I don't know if he was. Listen, I could confidently say Barry Sanders and maybe Herman Moore.
And
but I'm not even confident to say definitely Herman Moore. Megatron was probably better than Herman Moore.
Of course.
No, Megatron is. He included Megatron.
All right, but that's three. So we've got Stafford at 4, and he starts throwing in Charlie Batch and Perryman. I mean, who else? William Gay. I mean, there's a lot of good players, but nobody as good as Matthew Stafford. I'm trying to. They're kind of one of those franchises, right? I mean, you struggle to get to like name 20 in the past. Like they were, that's not, one playoff win in 60 something years. I mean, it's tough.
Jacob just gave me one. Billy Sims.
No, listen, Billy Sims was amazing.
Was a great college player,
but he was really good in the NFL.
Very good NFL.
But he's not Matthew Stafford.
What about the great Jason Hansen? God,
he was a hell of a kicker, right?
St. John's playing Seton Hall tonight. Big game, one that Rick Pitino's been looking forward to, but St. John's just announced that Rick Pitino will not coach tonight due to COVID.
Interesting one to throw at you, Don. How about Ndamukong Suh?
I still would go with Stafford. Sue didn't. Now listen, Sue bounced around after his time but he caused a lot of problems there too to kind of balance it out, right? Suspensions. No, Stafford's in the top 5.
James J. On X or Twitter said, "I need Don to start a one-off podcast miniseries called Hair Care with Don. That mane is fire, and I'm very jealous. Don, what are your hair secrets?"
Matter of fact, I've gone without product now for like 3 months.
Wow, look
at that. Cost saving, or you just decided you don't want to?
I ran out, and I just haven't had the desire to get more because I like what I got. I like what's going on. Beautiful. You like it?
You look terrific, and you complimented me before the show, so I think you're a splendid person.
The thing is, just to give a little, I noticed things. I noticed you had a haircut last week. I noticed you have new glasses. I'm your husband of Jace.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be wife of Jace?
No, Peter. What's politically correct? I think it's husband of Jace, right? Because why couldn't we get married?
Yeah, well, no, you'd only be husband. How Don wouldn't become your wife? He'd become your husband.
That's true.
In theory.
Thank you.
Now, Don, but Michael, we get on the call. Michael's just wearing a sweatshirt, and Don's like, "You look great today."
But it's a fire sweatshirt.
What is it?
There's New York on it.
Why is that so fire?
It looks great.
In his opinion, it's fire. I don't know why he feels to use that vernacular, but
well, that's what the a listener. So I piggybacked on a cool word.
Well, listen, I'm really in the position to judge today, and all of my football opinions should be up at least 30% today, given that I'm dressed for the Manicast. You know, when the quarter zip goes on, you just got to sit back and respect it.
So that was the last Manicast yesterday. They've slowly but surely gotten rid of guests. They had 2 yesterday.
It's better without
Bruce
guests.
Arians and Ray Lewis.
It's the right way to go. Them just sitting there talking football is better.
Hey, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy, too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
I won the lottery with Jack Pocket.
Press the button to order your lottery tickets. It's that easy.
You know, that really happened. I was in the bathtub and I was like, oh my God, I got to put my numbers in. And I grabbed my phone and
my phone started exploding with texts and emails from Jack Pocket telling me I won big. I still can't believe I'm a lottery winner.
How did I celebrate? I kind of did a little happy dance out to the living room.
Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Up your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
It's like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. May lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
So keep on believing, because it's not just about the weight you lose. It's about everything you gain. Believe on. Wegovy.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use in the future. Sorry, Dad. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
Thank you.
Only at Domino's.
Yo, you think Dallas' Power 4 gonna drop 30 tomorrow?
His mom made a post about going to the game.
What?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Get ready for the British Basketball League,
10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion, the British Basketball League.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Nets have now lost 13 of their last 16 games to fall to 16-23 on the season. They have the second worst record in the NBA since December 14th. They were up by 14 on the Heat at halftime last night, holding Miami to just 31 points, a season low for any half for the Heat this season. And then Jimmy Butler erupted for 14 in the third, where Miami put up 37. The Nets led by 1 after 3. The game went back and forth in the fourth. There were 5 lead changes and 3 ties in the final quarter. Royce O'Neal was 5 for 10 from 3. The rest of the Nets, 7 for 45. Brooklyn missed 43 threes. It was tied after regulation, came down to this in overtime. Jimmy Butler seesaws the Heat back out in front at the line. With the timeout remaining for the Nets, they don't take it. They just go. Mikal Bridges tries to go coast to coast and close it out with a baseline jumper. Josh Richardson defended it well. It falls way short. Nets lose 96-95. Head coach Jock Vaughn commented on the tough loss afterwards.
That's just where we are as a team. We're going to put guys out there who are going to perform, and it's going to make tough decisions on me to finish the game, and that's just a part of it. So hopefully that encourages our guys to be ready to go at the beginning of the game and play 4 quarters.
The Nets will have traveled over 5,000 miles in the past 2 weeks once they touch down in Portland to take on the Blazers tomorrow night. Our coverage for the game begins at 9:30 with opening tip-off coming your way a little after 10. It's the Nets and the Blazers tomorrow. Coverage starting at 9:30 right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
This is off the beaten path, but I think it has to be said. If you're at home right now, or if in the car, you should pull over and Google Joan Collins from yesterday's Emmys. Did you see this, Peter?
No.
She's 90 years old. And she looks like she's 55, 60. Like, if Joan Collins came up to me tomorrow at 90, right, and said, and Jody wasn't in the picture, would you like to do it on the day? I say, let's go. Let's do it.
Really?
It's like she's a vampire.
Peter. I'm looking at it now.
Don, is it unbelievable? It's like she's a vampire.
I'm looking at him right now. Joan Collins Emmys.
There's no shot that
she would ask me.
90. Just look at the video, Peter.
All it's a 90-year-old woman.
Yeah.
This is where I thought we were going today, but I'm ready.
Did you see it? What do you have, dial-up? What's wrong with you?
I didn't know where to look. I'm looking on Twitter now. Yeah, she looks great.
She's 90.
That's a very strong 90.
All right, color Peter
very,
unimpressed, Michael.
Yeah,
you just tell by his tone.
I mean, listen, I can tell that she's an old lady.
That's not in question.
Okay, but she's not 90. She doesn't look like she's 90.
If you had to guess how old she is there, what would you guess? Like 72, 69? What would you guess?
No, I wouldn't guess 72 or 69. I'd be higher than that.
Oh,
really?
Interesting. All right, see, I told you, completely unimpressed.
I'd go. I don't know, late 70s. That's still pretty good. That's still a 15-year bargain.
No, she looks like she's in her 60s.
Wow. Michael, talk about just completely wasted on Peter. Wow.
Really? Michael Farber told the story on Jeff Pearlman's podcast. I think it's a great story. Elvis Presley was at a Memphis Southman game, which is in the World Football League. You remember that, Don?
Sure.
And a server came over and asked him if he'd like anything. He said, yeah, I'd like a pizza. The server leaves and comes back with a pizza for him after 45 minutes. He rips into her, and she leaves silently. He doesn't take the pizza. The owner turns to Elvis and says, I don't know where she got the pizza. We don't have any pizza in the stadium. I suspect she left, found a pizza parlor, and paid for it with her own money, came back and gave it to you, and you just aired her out. Elvis was very apologetic, asked for her name and address so he could apologize. The next day when she woke up, there was a brand new Cadillac in her driveway.
That's a nice apology.
Pretty good apology, right?
I believe the Memphis Southmen had Larry Zonka.
Look at you. See, that's why, Peter, you always say this is why he makes the money. He just took it the next step.
He always does.
Knicks and the Magic yesterday. Knicks lose a game.
Ugh.
Now, a story that came out of this game. Now, I had already gone on the football game. I watched the first half of the game. Then I went on to the football game. And so I've watched the video of people saying that, Randall missed 2 clutch free throws and that he didn't get back on defense and he was like just wandering around. I watched the tape 10 times and I don't see it. He got back on defense. The ball was nowhere near the man he was covering.
It wasn't ever nowhere near. It was on the same side as him, and he didn't drop down at all. It was near him.
But, I mean, it seems like people don't want to love this guy. Like, they booed him. The guy's had an unbelievable season, and it's like nobody wants to love this guy.
I agree with both. I didn't think his effort on that was great, but I totally agree. He's completely underappreciated. Everyone is so quick to find a reason to jump all over him. I don't know how many all-star teams, how many times he has to be second-team All-NBA. The guy brings his lunch pail to work every day and goes hard. And if there's a moment or an opportunity to crush Julius Randle, Michael, they love him.
And he was asked about it after the game. He said, you know what, I'm hardened to it. It's fine. He goes, one day they'll chant MVP, the other day they'll boo. Why the love-hate with it? Also, the Knicks didn't lose because of that. The Knicks lost because Brunson missed a second straight game. Got a bad calf. Now, Deuce McBride has played well, but he's not Jalen Brunson. You take your point guard out of the equation, you're going to have a hard time beating a team that's a pretty good young team in the Orlando Magic. But, okay, let's say I move over to your side a little bit more, Peter, and say that, he didn't give everything. It became like a point of emphasis that he loafed. It wasn't loafing.
He was clearly...
It wasn't egregious.
Watching it a few times, Michael, you could see he definitely is about missing those 2 free throws. He was frustrated.
He's a powder.
He was pouting down there. He just was getting back. He had his back to the play. He kind of fell back in and just seemed completely disinterested. Now, did it affect things? The ball wasn't really in his vicinity, but he just did not look engaged because he took the 2 losses with him down the court. I mean, the 2 misses, that was the problem. Like, you could say it's loafing, but I think more of it was pouting, which you can't do. But egregious, because I was with you, I was on the game, so I didn't see it live. I was expecting a lot worse, considering the criticism he was getting on social media.
1-800-919-3776. Matt in Stony Brook. Matt.
I hope I'm not taking you too far off topic. I bet you never expected this many Lions calls.
Oh, let's do it,
in
man.
ESPN New York.
Let's do it.
Well, so I'm a lifelong Lions fan, born and raised in New York, and I was at the game Sunday night. It was a dream. Literally, my best friend and I have been friends, have been fans our entire lives. That game was everything we needed it to be. And booing Stafford, you're not going to find a bigger Matthew Stafford fan than the 2 of us that went, and we booed him. And it was much less about him than it was about what that game meant to every Detroit Lions fan, every member of the city of Detroit. It was just bigger than Matthew Stafford.
No, I get that, Matt. But here's what I want to ask you. That game was gigantic. You could hear it. It came through the screen. The crowd was so into it. I loved it. I mean, it's probably the best 8 days in the history of Detroit sports, with Michigan winning. Or Michigan sports, and then Detroit, the line. So, but why boo his family? Why boo him at the beginning?
So to respond to that, I would just say I wouldn't take the example of a few knucklehead nozzle fans.
That's true.
To represent the entire fan base, because the entire fan base loves that man and his family, because they grew up here. He came into his own as a member of the city. He gave so much to that city. And really, I don't think it was booing his family so much. I think it was, we love you. Today is not your day. And the Rams come to Detroit next year. I guarantee you they're going to give him a standing ovation. That game was just, that mission for the Lions and that city was way over him coming back. He was standing in the way of a moment that we've been waiting for 30
what's weird,
years.
Matt, I get that. Like, I get that it's over. The trade's over. He's a former Lion. It's about Goff. It's about the current team. So why boo him? I can understand a general disinterest, but you wouldn't have booed him if it was any other quarterback. You wouldn't have booed their quarterback like that. So why get on him?
And also, Matt,
it's not the story anymore.
You're saying a couple of people. You know, Kelly Stafford has a podcast, and she said that her daughters were crying. Her 6-year-old daughter, the 6-year-old daughter was crying, and she had to say, no, they're booing mommy. They're not booing you girls. So it wasn't just a couple of people that it set little girls to be crying when they were standing on the field.
Right, and I don't endorse that behavior. I don't endorse nozzles like that. I think that's ridiculous behavior. I think that's fans being fanatics. As far as why I booed him, it was, I think, more to show the support for Goff. And that was, I think, the tenor of the fans around me had the same attitude. It was not so much like, we've turned the page on you, we still love you, but this is our guy now, and we are in a place where we have not been for 30 years, and he needs all the support we get. You'll have your day when you come back, when you're you're
the second caller. That's how do we know for sure? I mean, just because you and we thank you for the call. Just because you actually want to support Goff doesn't mean that you have to hate Stafford.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
It's not one or the other. It's not, you can't, cheer for Stafford and that means you hate Goff. I mean, listen, I'm all for booing Goff. Do you know, Don and Peter, that they cheered when he got hit and had to be taken into the tent? That's good?
That caller is trying to explain the behavior of the fans because he's a fan. And I understood everything that he was saying, but I don't agree. That in order to show support for Goff and the Lions, you had to boo Matthew Stafford and then boo the fact that he's going into the 10 after getting hit. No, there was something weird about the whole thing. And I know I got a text off the air from Gary Myers, an article he wrote at the time saying that Stafford did request the trade. But it was time. Yeah, and I think everybody agreed it was time.
He didn't demand a trade. He went to the owner and said, maybe it's best if we both part ways here because this team's not going anywhere.
Right, exactly. And again, it's so funny how you want to perceive it, right? Like, how is it any different than what Ray Bork did in Boston? All right, it's time. Trade me to a contender. I can't win here. And the city of Boston rallied around Ray Bork that when he won the cup with the Colorado Avalanche, they were putting up billboards congratulating Ray Bork on his cup. And then Matthew Stafford does it and he gets destroyed. I don't understand the logic of how one city that loves their team can completely support a guy and then another city that loves their team can hate the guy. They did the same thing.
Yep. Ian Begley reporting that Josh Hart is listed on the injury report as having tendinopathy in his left knee. It's commonly referred to as jumper's knee and is defined as inflammation in the patella tendon.
The second, they can't have nice things. The second things are getting hot. Brunson gets hurt. Randall's getting destroyed. Hart now can't go. What is going on?
Not what you want, but you do want this. It's the ESPN New York Superbox Bonanza 5. This year, each qualifier will take home a $25 Fanatics gift card and have a chance at one of 10 Superbox prizes. Don, what number was Ray Bork?
77.
Be caller number 77 right now.
I should have lied and said 7.
At 888-987-ESPN, the selected box for the big game with a chance to win $500 in the first and third quarters, $1,000 at halftime, and a final score payout of $2,000. All brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey and the new Tullamore Dew Honey. I knew it was high, so if you said 7, I know you were lying. I mean, I'm not that much of a
credit given to me.
No, Peter.
Not enough credit given to me beating Don with the 77.
Good job, Peter.
I'm very proud of you, Peter. You've picked up your game.
Thank you.
Really something else. And I think I know why.
Why?
You've gotten some better help.
Oh, boy. This is a BetterHelp commercial message. It is the title.
Gary, I got this.
there's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
This is the guy. Wait, this is the guy? You're thinking of getting your suit from this guy? For your wedding? Are you sure? We can do better. The Black Tux is here to help. Rent or buy, online or in a showroom, on your terms. Shipped to you wherever you are, guaranteed to fit. Because you deserve better. The Black Tux, formal wear for your moment.
At care.com, you can find all the help you need. You can find babysitters. And you can find nannies. You can find dog walkers who will step in as your best friend's new best friend. And housekeepers who can get your floors looking great. At least for a little bit. You can find companions and helpers and caregivers. But most importantly, you can find out what it's like to not have to do it all on your own. Find all the care you need at care.com.
Up your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
You're not going to let a little weather slow you down. With a Ford SUV, you've got the capability to power through the elements. From the Edge with intelligent all-wheel drive, to the Explorer with a terrain management system, to the Bronco Sport with GOAT modes. Whatever the forecast brings, you'll have the confidence you need to take the season by storm. Right now, returning lessees can get the Ford Explorer for $329 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
The Brooklyn way is something that you can't describe. You just gotta know it. You gotta feel it. You gotta be here.
We give everyone the swag, the lingo, the culture, the look. We're just the sauce.
We got everything. Everything you want, we got.
To see somebody going after something and doing like what they love, it's easy to show love. And that's one thing about Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying?
It's a reflection of who we are.
New Yorkers have an answer for everything. But in the face of an emergency or disruption, we could all stand to be more prepared. With Notify NYC, you can get hyper-local, verified alerts from the city of New York, telling you about what's happening directly around you and what you should do about it. And maybe give a friend a helping hand. Get ready with Notify NYC. For more information and to sign up, visit nyc.gov/notify or call 311 or download the Notify NYC app.
After my wife died, it was like I lost myself too. I didn't feel like doing anything or seeing anyone. Then my granddaughter called to say she misses me, and I realized I had to make a change. I got referred to a psychiatrist, and she explained depression can happen to anyone. I'm learning that getting help for my depression doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. Divisional weekend in the NFL is set up. The Ravens will host the Texans, and the Bills will welcome in the Chiefs. The Steelers gave the Bills a bit of a scare yesterday in Orchard Park, but Josh Allen and company survived and moved on. Allen Allen threw for 3 scores and just over 200 yards. 2 out of the last 3 seasons, the last thing the Bills have seen when their season ended was the Kansas City Chiefs celebrating and moving on. Will history repeat itself, or will the Bills make swift work of the visiting Chiefs? Meanwhile, it was Christmas in January this past weekend for Giants and Washington fans. Cowboys got smoked at home by the 7th-seeded Packers, the first time a 7th seed has ever won a game. And the Eagles went down to Tampa, and they are joining the Cowboys in cleaning out their lockers today. Baker Mayfield threw for 337 yards and 3 scores. The Eagles started the season 10-1. And with yesterday's loss, they limp towards the draft, having gone 1-6 to close the season out. Tampa heads to Detroit, while the Packers have a date in San Francisco with the top-seeded Niners.
The Giants should be more committed than the Jets. The Jets thing is convoluted because the guy who's making them commit has been here one year and 4 plays. It is a marriage that I've never seen. I've never seen the solid nature of this marriage. Like, they've been together for 20 years. The Jets have given their soul to Aaron Rodgers and everything Aaron Rodgers believes. Because there's no way Aaron Rodgers would play for the Jets next year if Nathaniel Hackett was not the offensive coordinator.
So he'd retire, in your mind?
He'd say, I want to go somewhere else.
Where'd he go?
I'm sure there'd be some place that would take him. People dream. They dream on talent.
So, but now it'd go on record that he didn't want to play for Bill if it was Bill Belichick and,
Right.
and Nathaniel Hackett was let go, that he would rather retire or ask for a trade that the Jets don't have to grant them. So it's basically, it's not really the Jets' fear of Rodgers leaving. It's the fear of Rodgers being unhappy.
Right, because he'd be silly to leave because he gave $35 million back this year. And then next year and the year after, he makes big money.
So, but so you're telling me that he's that married to Nathaniel Hackett that he wouldn't want one of the greatest coaches in the history of football?
Yeah.
Or Pete Carroll, who went to back-to-back Super Bowls and won one of them. Do you think that conversation was even had, or are they just even afraid to have it? Well, listen, he said he's a fan of Saleh, so let's not even rock the boat.
It's a great question. I think they're afraid to have it.
That's what I think. But then when you see him go on McAfee and have all the praise on Bill, like I would make the phone call the second he got off the air. It's like, you're praising Bill. Do you want us to go get him? Because we will. We'll make the phone call. I think you're right. I think it's just like let's not rock the boat. He's happy here. He wants to be here. He loves Nathaniel Hackett. So we'll go with Robert Saleh.
God. Well, yeah, and it would make total sense. Think about it, Don. Wouldn't it make total sense to essentially what you're saying, go with Nathaniel Hackett over Bill Belichick?
I think it makes sense, yeah.
You know what? Why would you even consider Belichick when you have the access to Hackett?
Let's go to Rob in Long Island. Robbie.
You know, I got to tell you, gentlemen, first of all, it's a pleasure getting on the air talking to you. And Brunson was the reason why they didn't win yesterday against Orlando. I'm listening to you guys, and as a Giant fan since 1968, 63 years old, Michael, I went to the old Yankee Stadium where games weren't on TV, okay? So I saw what it was really like going way, way, way back. I am a Giant fan, and how you're saying that Bill Belichick should go to the Jets. He's a Giant. He loves the Maris. You talk about Dable, and you tell you about, I have passion here, so hear me out. Dable is 15, 18-1 with a split record in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He got blown out after the Eagle game. He has 6 months to prepare, and he loses 40-0 game 1. He gets an F this year with the nonsense going on with Wink. I don't know what went on.
One second, though, Rob. Bill Parcells is a Giant at heart.
But Bill Parcells is 80 years old.
No. But he went to the Jets.
Yeah, okay, I get you. He hates the Jets, Belichick. But I don't want to talk about the Jets. I want to talk about why he belongs to be a Giant. He loves the Maris. Dayball, you say, we got a great position there. I got a guy who's 2 years a coach. He had a horrible year this year. He had a good year, surprised everybody last year. Bill comes in, the free agents come. Dayball's expendable. Every New York Giant fan will say, oh, my God, he's coming back home. He'll clean up the act. And if he clean up the act. Isn't it worth us as Giant fans to can this guy Dable, who seems to be a little bit of a problem right now, when you could clean it up, get Bill in here, finish his career, and basically rebuild for 2 to 3 years, get this team in the right order. I was there for the plane. I was there for the ticket burning. I saw the fumble. I know the Giant history.
Right.
We're not having George Young again. He's not around. And there's no P. Rozelle giving the Giants a break so you could get George Young. This is the one time, last chance, Mara. If you don't do this in 2 years from now, you're going to regret this because Dable's going to be gone. The Giants are right now in the sewer. No QB, no defensive coordinator. How can you say they're in a good spot? How can you say that? I'm clueless when I listen to you guys.
Well, he said they're in a better spot than the Jets are with their coach. But Rob, I love the passion, but they already said last week, according to reports, they're not interested in Bill. So why are we going to scream into the night? They're not going to do it. We had Ian O'Connor on who said that they should make the phone call, but they won't. The Giants aren't going to be interested. So, but the Jets, I don't know why you wouldn't make the phone call, but the Giants look like they wouldn't do it.
And Rob, thank you for the phone call. The fact we keep saying that Belichick hates the Jets. It's come out. Belichick didn't have a problem with Woody Johnson. Didn't even know him. He had a problem with Bill Parcells hovering over his shoulder after Parcells had made fun of him because he had failed as the Browns coach. He made fun of him in front of players, and that was why there was that cold period between the two of them. He did not want Parcells in that nebulous role above him, so he said, I want out.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the Jets.
But also, I think he certainly had a problem with Mangini taking the job, but I don't think he was thrilled that they were going after Mangini either. So I don't know if he, at this point, I think he would, if the Jets were on the verge of winning a Super Bowl, I think he would find a way to get through it.
And also, Rob just said they don't have a quarterback. If they don't have a quarterback, why would Bill Belichick go there? He wants to win.
Yeah,
he's got to win 15 more games. He wants to win a Super Bowl.
I would love it. Honestly, I would love it as a Giant fan. I understand his passion, but it's not gonna happen.
Guys, tell me I'm wrong. That guy, he really knowledgeable. Lots of yelling, voice cracking, New York accent. They could hire him on the Fan next week. I could see evenings starting next week.
He definitely sounded like Beningo.
There was something there, no?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else was there? Don's going to tell us about BetMGM before we go to E&M.
Well, hockey season.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday? I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
You don't have to leave your living room to play the lottery. Just use the Jackpocket app.
Hot! Okay, everyone, please silence your phones.
I won. I won! I won! I never win anything, and I won today! We won! Yes! Dollar bills, y'all, I'm out!
To win anytime, anywhere, download the Jackpocket app, officially licensed lottery courier service.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm
It keeps you dry, triple layered comfort. Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers. They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now.
Brown boots are cool. Wearing brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Nets. We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got LeBron, Harden, and KD.
Kevin Durant is smoking hot.
We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum.
Jason Tatum is going off.
Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Trailblazers. Tomorrow at 9:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
When choosing between style, comfort, and performance, we chose all of the above. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN.
Ray Rowe.
On Tiwi. It is brought to you by Security Dodge. See Michelle Scalisi and
Get some!
Yeah! Let's start off by saying good evening to our friend Michael.
You can see Ted.
Let's say good evening to Michael and Don.
How did the brisket go down for Ballard?
Yeah, well, it must have just slid.
How about good evening to Don?
I'm your husband of Jace.
Good evening to myself. The ribs were literally pure crack cocaine. And to the caller who had something very interesting to tell us earlier.
I made my daughter when I first heard your show.
I wonder how many children that we have helped be born.
And to the same caller.
It's all blanks.
See, I think we'd work more stamina than anything else.
You know what I mean?
Like,
you know what I really
doing math or thinking about baseball.
Do you know what I really think, though? When you really add it all up, guys, isn't the answer we need more callers from North Carolina?
They are the gold standard. You're right.
Like we got a bunch of Detroit today, but man, do we do well when people call. When you think about Ray, from the day that he called me a sloppy pig.
I go slop the hogs every now and then.
What year is Ray? You think? Because I just saw this.
You kind of new to the show.
It was 2016, the summer of 2016.
So summer 2016. So that's like within the first year I was there.
Yes.
He formed a quick opinion.
I got there in the fall 2015. God, time is just, what is happening?
What is going on?
But, you know, it must not just be us guys that time is flying for, considering we still get calls regularly where people weigh in on my addition to the show. It's not just us, right, that the time has just flown by?
Time is really flying. It's sad.
It does.
I don't like it. Did the kids get out in the snow today at all, Don?
I would say about like an hour ago it started snowing again, so they were out there. It's a tough day for snow because we got a freezing rain right after, but they had a lot of energy.
What sort of accumulation did you get?
I'd say about 3 inches. When I shoveled this morning, it was probably about 3.5, maybe.
Just doesn't listen to me.
Well,
He has to.
I did it
He
in
can
little
handle this
kickboxing
one, though.
today because I just trying to make it all work, and I had a eye doctor appointment that was canceled because of the weather. So I had to clear, but I didn't know that, so I had to clear everything up to go. And I intended to go to work, but then it just got really bad and it got icy. But no, I shoveled. I went to shovel at like 6:20, but it was still snowing, so I thought that'd be counterproductive.
Well, guys, a lot happened over the course of the weekend.
Oh, huge weekend.
Do you, Anthony? You have the? Do we have NFL yesterday audio? I mean, intro. 'Cause that's essentially what today's ENN is. It's NFL yesterday. Here we go.
This is
They're playing football.
the NFL yesterday.
Let's hear the call from Merrill Reese on WIP in Philly. The end of a toxic, crazy Eagles season.
And the seconds will come off the clock. And the Eagles have not just been beaten. They have been taken apart. They have been just brought to their knees by the Tampa Bay Bucks. The final score, the Tampa Bay Bucks 32, the Eagles 9.
That is a very honest local broadcaster.
Yeah, well,
He's
he's
a
not Reese, for
legend.
God's sake. That's the legend. Now, Aaron Judge was there to take it in. Very happy, I'm sure. He's wearing his Tampa Bay creamsicle-colored shirt, Don.
You know what's
Where's this
funny,
come
too,
from?
Peter? He's sitting, I guess, in a suite. He's wearing, I guess, it's the number 13 jersey. And they're all talking about Aaron Judge. Clearly, like 2 seats over is Anthony Volpe. Not a word.
Well,
American League Gold Glove shortstop.
Michael, come on. That's a Yankee boy take.
Then you know what? I am.
No, but
yeah, no, own it. No,
No, just
no,
own
Don,
it.
let him own it.
So you're gonna get on Joe and Troy for not
No,
recognizing.
it wasn't Joe and Troy because you could see they didn't pull the shot out wide enough. I could see it was Volpe. It was like it was his ear and his eye.
Who was going to know that, Michael?
I do.
I get it, but Aaron Judge, they're going to get. They're not going to get Anthony Volpe.
Gleyber Torres was there.
But-
not even a mention.
No.
Oh, are you kidding me? They didn't say a word
I don't
about
know if
Labor
he's
Day.
playing us or whether he's
It was-
genuinely upset, Peter.
No, I'm not upset at all.
You know what? You know what it was, Don? It's because yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. They didn't want to disrespect by bringing up Labor Day, another national holiday. Let's hear from Nick Sirianni, the coach of the Eagles, man. What a difference a few weeks makes. Is your job in jeopardy, Nick?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the guys. Again, there's a lot of guys in that locker room, all the guys in that locker room, every single one of them that put their heart and soul into this. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried. I'm not worried. I'm as the head coach, I'm just trying to be there for our guys and our staff right now, through a tough time. Obviously, we didn't finish anywhere near we wanted to finish. So, again, my heart feels for these guys. We're all taking it hard, and that's where my mind is right now.
Well, he didn't walk off.
You should feel for the fans, not the
No,
players.
he didn't walk off.
Who said he walked off?
No, I'm saying
like
Tomlin
Tomlin
walked
did.
with a similar question. And that's a guy. And I got to tell you what, Sirianni should be more frustrated with his loss than Tomlin's loss to the Bills. They were a 9.5-point dog, going up against a team that could very easily win the Super Bowl. Philadelphia completely collapsed, lost to a 9-8 Buck team, and he managed to answer the question.
Yeah, but Sirianni has to answer the question because his job is actually in jeopardy.
Well, then if
has another-
Tomlin's job isn't in jeopardy, why not answer the question?
Just doesn't feel. No, that was just him being a nozzly coach. That was just standard issue. I don't have time for this nonsense. I didn't take it as because he's actually leaving or anything like that. You know, coaches.
No, but
we don't want to talk about it.
No, I get it, but if anybody didn't want to talk about it, I'm sure it's Sirianni. I mean,
But Nick Sirianni doesn't have the cachet that Tomlin
It
has.
is amazing, if you think about it, how sports have changed so drastically in 10 years. Because Sirianni, I think, has won 34 games in 3 years. He went to the Super Bowl last year and lost by 3. He had a terrible year this year, but still made the playoffs. They got embarrassed, but still made the playoffs. And there's legitimate talk that he's going to be fired.
Well, this is unusual circumstances, Michael.
Because they collapsed. I get
There's
it.
something going on there, and it sounds like it might have something to do with him and a complete lack of leadership that's going to fall on a coach that's way more expendable than a quarterback, because I think both of them have to take the heat for the lack of leadership. I mean, and God, I hate to judge it this way, but how many shots of him just looking at the sidelines like, I don't have any answers here.
I texted with Andrew Gunlin.
How did Andrew take it?
That's something. Since you're so close, you guys meal exclusively.
I texted him at 10:33, and I said, never seen anything quite like this. He wrote, worst Eagles teams I've ever seen. Number 1, 1998 Eagles. Number 2, 2020 Eagles. Number 3, Week 13 through wild card round 2023 Eagles. I swear that's not being a prisoner of the moment. This is pretty much as bad a stretch of football as this team has played in 30 years.
No, because I've had it.
See, Don, I want you to appreciate something about me.
Right.
I've learned from you guys. Because old Michael K. would have tweeted or texted something like, good performance by your team. But you guys have drilled it into me. This means something to a fan. So I laid low. But
you know what?
Because Andrew and Peter are obviously so close, they can communicate.
Yeah, there's something going on. It's amazing. I'm still really irritated with Peter. What happened a couple of weeks ago?
But you know what? Maybe he knew they're closer than he is
that's what I'm starting to realize here. Is as I begin to recover from this moment,
Andrew than Peter.
What's going to help me get there is the fact of how their relationship has blossomed, and I guess mine with Andrew is soured, and I'll take responsibility.
I'm going to even take it further, Don. I'm going to take it further.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I don't blame Peter at all. I think it was Andrew who said, don't invite Don and Michael.
It's on the table.
Yep.
It's on the table. I'm not sure I believe it, but if you want to start to gather evidence, it's there.
You'd look at
it.
You famously said you never thought Andrew cared for you.
No, but this is Deck's level of not caring for me, and now caring enough for me not to be there.
I really thought he cared for me, though. I never thought he didn't care for me. This is a surprise.
But now you wonder.
Oh, no, I don't wonder anymore. I know.
Let's hear from Ray Lewis during the Manning cast last night, being baffled by the Eagles' poor tackling.
Practice and tackling every day is based off angles. When you see the angles of these guys and the way they approach tackling, it's crazy. Like nobody plays together. Put them in a cup. If you put them guys in a cup, you're not going to see big plays like this. But everybody's playing individual football, and that's insane to me. That's why sometimes I get outside and I go sit on my water because I can't deal with this type of stuff, Peyton. Like, what? Like, it's crazy.
He's right.
It really was. Guys, I got to tell you, I'm not a defensive expert, but I can certainly tell when someone takes a bad angle. You can certainly tell when someone gets completely stood up and is just not prepared to tackle someone. In a game with meaning, guys, I don't know the last time I saw a team try that little on defense.
Had a really bad game, Don? Bradbury.
Wow. Yeah, he did.
Oh, Bradbury.
Well, that one touchdown.
Bradbury, more like Badbury. How about
it was
that?
Awful. But I like what he said about their playing as individuals. What does that tell you? It tells you that they have no leaders, that they feel like it's over, the ship's sinking, and all they care about is themselves and their own, situation. And that falls on the coach. It does.
Let's go to a positive side of this story, and that is how awesome things have turned out for Baker Mayfield. After putting up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, here's Baker on how satisfying the win was.
I said immediately after the game, we worked extremely hard to get a chance to be in the playoffs, and we just wanted an opportunity, and our guys came out and played really, really well. Special teams, defense, once again, Chase is a stud. Defense played lights out. We should have had a lot more points on offense, but we did just enough to get the win tonight, and we're happy, but still got more to go.
They dropped 2 bombs on him, too.
Oh, the Mike Evans drop in the end zone? Oh, that was a tough one.
It was a perfect throw.
Now, Michael, it begs the question, do you think Baker's getting better sleep staying in the pirate ship in Tampa than he was in the old stadium?
Absolutely, yeah. Sure.
No, I think he's getting better sleep because he's not sleeping at the stadium. There's no evidence that he's at the stadium.
The weather is better in Tampa than it is in Cleveland in December.
I'm happy.
Great point by you.
I'm happy for Todd Bowles.
Yeah, me too. Gladys.
Our guy was on the. From what I understand, our guy was on the Manning cast too, Peter.
He was Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Todd Bowles. He loves 2 things: great hard-nosed defensive football and Gladys Knight.
That's right.
Let's get some play-by-play from John Murphy on the Bills radio network last night.
Here's the snap. Blitz coming. Allen steps up in the pocket, going to take off and run. Has the first down and more. To the 40, to the 35, 30. Breaks away. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Josh Allen. Yeah, give him a flex, Josh. You just schooled them with their back turned.
I'm going to tell you a problem in the NFL. Quarterbacks are protected to a level that you can't really touch them. And when a guy like Josh Allen, who is 6'5", 240.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think he's going to slide, so you don't want to hit him high, and then he doesn't slide, and you can't tackle him because of his size and speed. It's really hard.
It's basically impossible.
Yes, it is.
The defense in this league is so hard. You remember that famous play from like 2 years ago? 2 years ago, guys, in the college game where the quarterback sort of faked like he was going to go down and then didn't. That was made a big deal, but when you really think about it, that's all the time. It's really like that all the time when a quarterback gets.
And I forget what game it was. It might have been in that game. A guy slid at the last moment, and the guy's starting to tackle him before he slides, and he hits him in the head, and then you get a flag. It's impossible.
Here's Josh Allen saying, "Don't blame us for the game being moved."
People keep saying that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, and we had no call in that or no say in that. That was a health and safety issue from the state. We would have played yesterday, would have played Saturday, would have played Friday. It wouldn't have mattered. We would have come out here and played when we were told to play.
Yeah, so many people are saying, "Oh, they've gotten so soft they won't even play football in the snow." They didn't have a choice.
Hey, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt sent that tweet out. All he was more asking, we can't play outdoors anymore? And he had to be reminded. And it had nothing to do with that. The safety of just trying to get to the stadium when you got lake effect snow.
It was colder in Kansas City they played. And by the way, you lose fans, too. Arrowhead is always filled to the brim. The whole upper deck was empty. Who's going to go out in that kind of weather?
Well, there was legitimate health concerns being out there like that.
Thank God Taylor was inside so we could see her swag surf. You know what I mean?
No, you're a hater too.
Ironically, guys, it was Kenny Pickett who hit the fake slide in college.
There you go.
Now, we move over to another team that has serious issues. Dallas Cowboy coach Mike McCarthy asked, could this loss lead to a head coaching change?
I think the biggest thing is we're disappointed. I'm not going to whole team in the locker rooms. That's hurting. I haven't thought past the outcome of this game.
I just hate when you say that.
No, Michael, people don't think about losing their job. No way.
I mean, it has now become the cliche. Of course you think about it. You can say I'm not worried about it right now, but I've never even thought about losing my job. Really? You work for Jerry Jones.
Speaking of, how will Jerry Jones evaluate Mike McCarthy during the offseason?
When I think about it, which I haven't thought 1 second about it, I know how hard, how much it meant to our fans to advance. What this loss to me means, again, I opened up by saying not how, why, who didn't do what, all of that kind of thing. The only thing that was on my mind almost this entire game was not an analysis of our strategy, not an analysis of the play. It was, do we get to play here again next week? And we can't, and that could have happened by a point, or it could have happened the way it happened out there. And that's all I'm thinking about, and that's all I've thought about.
Hasn't thought about it for a second. So when they're getting blown out, he's not thinking, I might have to fire this guy. Not thinking it.
Then he's not a good general manager. Because your work is done. The team is there. You can't make a trade. There's nothing you can do. I understand it from a coach's perspective because a coach has a lot on his plate, so he's not thinking about it. He's thinking about the game. But all Jerry could be thinking about once the trade deadline passed, once the roster was complete for the postseason is, all right, what am I going to do if we don't win? And they're getting blown out. They're not winning that game, so you tell me he didn't cross his mind. What am I going to do here?
Again, you wonder why we talk to anybody involved. They don't tell the truth.
No. But you know what I mean, Michael? There's nothing left for him to do but think about the future, right?
If he's not thinking about possibly firing Mike McCarthy when they're getting blown out by 30, then is he starting to lose it? How could you not be thinking about it?
Yeah, because you're not. I know he's talking like an owner, but if you're the guy that hires and fires and drafts, that all you should be thinking about is how do we get up from this?
He's 42-25 in the regular season as head coach. He's 1-3 in the playoffs. Now, if it gives you any perspective, Jason Garrett lasted 10 seasons as head coach of the Cowboys. 85-67 overall, 2-3 in the playoffs. Can't believe it was 10 years with Jason Garrett. Right. Don, that answers the question as to why Jason Garrett's on TV. But I always think of it as like he was there a few years. The fact that he was coach in Dallas for 10 years, that's what
he also was not bad on that game.
No,
with
but
Tirico.
I get it, but all I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out like why. And you just said, well, because he was a Cowboy coach for 10 years. But I don't think any of the Cowboy fans like think of him fondly.
I think
certainly his time with the Giants was non-productive. Like, so you could say, oh, he was an offensive coordinator for the Giants. He was a head coach for the Cowboys for 10 years. Okay, do any of those fan bases care?
Yeah, but it does give them, for lack of a better phrase, it does give them a Q rating. He's in 40 million homes every Sunday. Being a Cowboy coach, that's 16 to 17 games a year for 10 years. So it doesn't. People know him. There's a value to that.
We mentioned Matthew Stafford being booed on his return to Detroit. Here's what Stafford had to say about the situation.
It was a playoff game. I'm not surprised that they were excited about cheering for their team, and I'm not too worried about anybody's personal feelings towards me that was sitting in the stand.
That's the right answer.
Now Adam Schefter earlier had some words on the future of Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins.
Right now, the Dolphins are projected to be roughly $40 million over the salary cap for 2024. They're going to need to find ways to create space. And one way to create space would be to enter into a long-term deal with Tua Tagovailoa, as difficult and challenging as it will be. But the Dolphins have been committed to him. They want to stay committed to him, and they want to try to figure a way to work out a long-term deal with Tua this offseason.
What a gamble. He's a good quarterback, but he's one hit away.
Well, they'll have the option now of drafting his brother as a backup quarterback because Talia Tagovailoa, the Maryland quarterback who entered the transfer portal, has been denied his waiver to continue his college career. He was trying to get a 6th year of eligibility, so he will now enter the draft. He's expected to be a third-day draft pick to his younger brother.
And it's only a 2-day draft.
Yes, that's a tough one. Also, in terms of fallout, I'm aware.
No, I don't know if our listeners were.
That the NFL draft is more than 2 days?
No. They're aware of that, but they're probably thinking that big-headed freak Yankee boy doesn't know that it's a 3-day event.
No, that's...
Speaking of which, did you guys hear that they're considering making the NBA draft a 2-day event?
I heard it's a done deal.
Stop it. Like anybody, who is going to care about the second round of the NBA draft?
I know. Don, have you ever heard of more of an I'm good situation?
Oh, my God.
Television product.
But who's going to watch it?
Somebody will.
But
I don't know.
These draft freaks, these fantasy fans who love the draft, I don't.
Yeah,
get.
but
Don, the ratings went up for the bowl games this year. You and your brother were playing in some of the games. It doesn't matter. It's
but I'm saying it's football. Everything's football. But I'm just saying from a basketball perspective, who cares about the second round?
Also, happy trails. Jason Kelsey has told his teammates that will do it for his 13-year career. And that will do it for ENN, which is brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Starting Something New sales event.
All right, so we have the Rangers coming up, right, Donald?
Rangers Kraken.
Rangers Kraken. Yeah. Looking forward to that. We have Dan Orlovsky on tomorrow. And I'm sure he's got a perspective on all the games and the ones coming up. Latest on the Knicks, the Rangers, blah, 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 the whole deal. And anything with baseball as well. 1-800-3776. Call now. Wait on hold.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, the British Basketball League. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Freezing, just freezing.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Right now, get a free footlong at Subway. Like the new Deli Heroes. Buy 1 footlong in the app, get 1 free.
It's a pretty big deal.
Kinda like me. Order in the Subway app today.
Hey, so I found a betting system that's really working great for me.
So did I. What's yours?
I set up an hour-a-week time limit on FanDuel. I can also set up wager limits, so I only bet what I can afford, and betting stays fun.
Right.
So what's your system?
What's that?
Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
It's all about putting in the work. I prepare the same way for the long haul. Tono gives you all those stats to be able to say, okay, let's do this now. It's all about just training your mind to be as great as we can. Tono, be your strongest.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got LeBron, Harden, and KD.
Kevin Durant is smoking hot.
We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum.
Jason Tatum is going off.
Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Trailblazers. Tomorrow at 9:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Every time they wanna clash, the wind is kicking through the door. I'm unbeatable.
Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable, I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Welcome to Unbeatable, the British Basketball League highlight show. My name is Tahir Hadja, and it's round 2 of the British Basketball League 2024 trophy. Each club has kicked off their trophy campaign, and this week will be hoping to strengthen their chances of qualifying for the Final Four weekend in Birmingham on the last weekend of January. First up, we're heading to Group A, where the reigning trophy champions, Caledonia Gladiators, have had a disappointing start to the trophy. Losing their first 2 games, this one against the Sheffield Sharks is a must-win.
The British Basketball League trophy, one team will lift it at the end of this month, but who will it be? Damn, both teams just going back and forth at the moment.
They're too fast for Caledonia.
And it's good. He is shooting the lights out. Oh, baby.
So the champions are under the pump. Wiley along the baseline. Big shot from Terrell Green.
Lovely execution. That is going to be disastrous for Caledonia
at the moment, being tested here at home.
Calm down, fellas.
Gareth Murray's going to be thinking, how do we lose to a team that'll miss 13 free throws?
How important now does that next fixture against Sheffield be for them?
Calling this matchup is Todd Harris and Azania Stewart.
Ollie Hodgins with the up and under. Beautiful 25 on 25 crime. Oh, look at that. Ollie Hodgins being the distributor with a beautiful dime bounce pass. It's identity time for the Sharks. Who is your killer? And there you go. On cue, DeVeryl Ramsey answers that question. And they can't really focus the Sheffield Sharks on one player because everyone, including Patrick Whelan, seem to be feeling it. Ramsey, stop on a dime. Does he have enough? Yes, he does. Caledonia needs a set play. They need an instant bucket.
Gladiators have gone to his zone.
Wow. Oh, my. And the scoring streak continues. Gareth Murray does not have enough timeouts in his pocket. The beast, if he's going to keep scoring, keep giving him the rock. Look at this. Circus shot in. Buffalo on the drive, hung up in the middle there, but gets it off the glass, stayed with it. Well done. Oh, that was a dagger. Big 3 coming off the hands of Fraser Malcolm. Caledonia starting to flex their muscle. Up and under, just too quick, Jalen Pipkins.
Oh, Caledonia. Why not put the cherry on top? Because points do matter if some, you know.
80-72, and that's how this game will end, with Caledonia getting their first win.
Caledonia with an important win away from home. We'll be back with more game action soon. But first, let's remind you of last year's trophy-winning moment with Caledonia coach Gareth Murray.
There was a play before it where if they missed and we didn't have a timeout, we already knew what play we were going to run, but we happened to have a timeout. We knew that David Sloan would be on the wing, that Jamel Anderson would be denying him.
Brings it cross midcourt. He's up again from that spot.
After that, I said to David to make a play.
Still up foul, skip Cheshire.
David Sloan gets downhill.
Here's Sloan to the basket.
Manages to kick out to open Prince. Prince makes a great play. Finds David Sloan in the corner. Wide open. If he makes it, we win. If he misses, we go overtime.
In the